Kita-kita. You're live!
Hi! Dito ka na! Gawa tayo ng tinapay. Baby, dito ka!
Yeah! Teka!
Simin, try mo. Okay. I'll be baking. I'm Fecalyn Ladao. I'm not actually baker by profession. I actually finished my course back in the Philippines. I studied Bachelor of Arts in Political Science. And I was also a fire officer for 8 years. So I wasn't really baking at all before. Ensaymada or sweet brioche. Kita, baby?
Yeah.
I don't want to wear gloves kasi kami lang mushroom. I don't need any PPE, hairnet, or gloves, or apron. Kasi mas feel ko pag kami lang kakain sa bahay na to.
Being a heartbroken can be a difficult and painful experience for anyone. But for Fecalyn Ladao, she started baking to turn her pain into productivity and never thought it will progress as a commercial ensaymada business. She started offer her bread to her family and friends.
It started when I was working 1 week on and 1 week off, and there's nothing to do during my week off. And that time, as I have said before in my first interview, that I was brokenhearted. So that pain pushes me to do this. It was the one that gave me drive and motivation to do the baking because I wasn't really baking at all. So I use the dough as my therapy and baking to fill my day so I can be productive.
We were there for her. I was there for her and, cried. She cried and of course it's
This is Joy Masinsin.
for a friend and seeing a friend like that. So I told her, encourage her rather, to divert her mind and herself. Do something she loves or just focus on something else that can distract her from crying and that. So what she did is she started really just baking and we were the first customers, and then she contacted other friends and to taste, and then she started getting orders slowly, and then of course because she improved, and we tell people and friends, of course it started from friends and family, and she just continued on, and she started getting utensils and improve kitchen equipment and all that stuff, and she kept going, and she found a new love, and it continued. It's good.
And from then, I've been bringing that bread to my friends during party, like if there's party invitations, lunch invitations, like any gathering. And a lot of my friends requested me to bake, and I was thinking maybe I have to turn this passion to profit. And that's when I started, making my kitchen approved by the council. So I prepared my kitchen to be approved by the council as to get the permit so I can push my business, which is Fecalyn.
Yeah, no, it was like all businesses, it's a slow start. Like you don't know how to like where to sell them, who to go to, who
By the
to,
way,
like, get your,
this is
get your
Alexa
customer base from.
Roder.
And so watching my auntie figure that all out on her own pretty much was amazing. She started from the house kitchen, just like putting it out to friends, and then from there she had the smarts to go to the local market in Yeppoon in Queensland, and then from there she has this goal to eventually and hopefully open her own little store. And so I think watching that like slow progression and her just ticking all the boxes has been really amazing.
So I can put in this dough and then put...
In the early days, Fecalyn faced a lot of challenges and lack of equipment to start his idea, but she was motivated by the pain of a broken heart.
Oh, she's very passionate about it, you know. She's got a kind heart, very ambitious indeed in that area, and all I could do is support that idea, support that dream as a friend.
It's pretty hard because that time I wasn't really cooking. I wasn't really baking at all. I didn't even study baking lessons. I just do it through that passion and through that push that I told you. That pain was the one that pushes me to do it.
And we started from one bread maker from the op shop. And of course, when it started, it did not work. So we fed it to my ducks in the backyard. And I told her that, yeah, you may have a degree, but it doesn't mean you can bake. And of course, we laughed it off. And the poor thing, I think she went home that night and thinking about what I said. And I said to her, practice, don't give up, keep practicing. So she did, and she's very perseverance is one of her traits, I would say. And yeah, just that passion about improving herself, improving her skills, and doing what she can to get to that level. I'm very proud of her.
It's hard because I don't have all the equipment. That's why it started with a $10 dough mixer.
Because that was about like 3 years ago, so I was a little bit younger then. And I would just watch my auntie as like a little kid after high school and just watch her in the kitchen making it. Like there wasn't even like the full industrial machines that she has now. And so it's really developed into something amazing, from like rolling pins and like doing it all by hand in like the little oven that you have in like your home, to something like now she has like an industrial oven and a whole setup. And like that's really amazing. Like just like the little things, how they change and they grow.
And then, but now I already have commercial dough mixer and industrial oven after so many like months of my struggles. Just having that small dough mixer, like a domestic dough mixer, into a commercial one.
I am a Filipino community leader in here, and at the same time I'm a lawyer. So when she was starting, she actually handed me her ensaymada. So I tasted that, and then when I actually...
This is attorney Bernadette Cortez, a Filipino community leader in Melbourne, who assists her in relation with her business license.
As well, a lawyer. Whenever we actually go for an event, Attorney Ruder would actually like bring in the ensaymada, and then that's how it all started. And then I get to know her better when there was actually an issue with her license, because she's very straight business. So when the inspector actually has to renew the license, there was a bit an issue with the cheese that she is using, and then when she was not given, or when there was actually a bit of a restriction on her ensaymada, she called me and then she gave me the issues, and I said to her, just like give me the letter that was given to you, or let me talk to the inspector, because I need actually to know better and what is really like happening. So she was crying because she's very passionate. She's a very passionate woman in terms of her ensaymada. And then I talked to her. I run her about similar cases that we actually like use in court, And then she said to me, all I want is just for me to sell my ensaymada according to the standard and according to the government policies. But if I cannot do it, then I will close it. I will actually like shut it down. And I said to her, what about your passion? Because she's very passionate when you know her, and when you actually like, taste her food, it's full of love. You could really like taste it, that it's full of love. So she said to me, she was crying. I said like, okay, you sleep it over. I'll think about the strategy that I could do for you to help you get back the license. And the following day, I actually wrote a letter seeking for a review on the decision of the inspector. When she told me like, oh, this is actually about, are you actually like asking me to go to the magistrate court now? I said like, well, if they're not going to give you your license, I am going to definitely like be going to the magistrate court for you, because I see it. There was actually a loss of revenue for you. And then, of course, you invested so much already and things like that one. So there was actually a bit of an issue in there. But then she said to me, let's just like write a letter. So the letter, it actually started from her, but then I revised it. But when you see the letter, you could really like see how much she loves cooking, and at the same time, how much she wants to impart the things to his young boy, that when he grows up, he wants him to grow as a person following the rules and regulations of the government, but at the same time working correctly, even though nobody is actually like watching you. So that's how I see Fex. That's how I really give her the salute, and I said to her, I could actually like seek for a review honestly, and then she's like, no, let's just like leave it for a while, and then things like that. But then I found out she tried to check what is the best cheese for her ensaymada, and she figured it out. And then that's it. She actually is now starting again. No, she never stopped. She stopped only like for 3 days, because every single day she was looking for an alternative for that cheese.
Fecalyn advised that if one's heart is broken, one need only find one's passion and build a career around it.
What I can tell them, if they have limited resources, don't make it as a hindrance to push or to get what they wanna or do what they wanna do. Like especially if it's through passion. It's like everything. I believe that comes a lot. It comes a lot from dedication and hard work. So they don't need to wait for the perfect time. Resources or funds couldn't be like, what do you call this? Like aside from hindrance, it shouldn't be a reason for them to stop, or because waiting is a haste. So for me, if they have great idea, they just do it. That's what I did before. And small progress is something, and that matters. And whenever, for example, they already have that success, they should just keep their feet on the ground, because being humble is great. I mean, humility is important. Passion can turn into profit, but they shouldn't mind the money at all. They should just do it because they love it, and then money will just follow. I know you need profit for everything that we're doing, but it's very rewarding in the end. It's all worth it. Money will just follow. That I believe. I didn't even expect this to happen to me, because it's just out of my passion. I was just doing it because I love doing it, and I enjoy doing it. I mean, there's joy every time I do it. And all of a sudden, I now have 4 Asian shops that I need to supply. But it's just all through because of the passion that pushes me to do it. It's not, I wasn't thinking at all like I need this because this is like should be the source of living. It's not that, because you can always turn passion to profit.
Fecalyn Ladao turned her painful experience to a successful business. State of Mind is a production of Kangaroofern Media Lab. Thank you to Fecalyn Ladao for talking to us. Also a big thank you to Alexa Roder, Joy Masinzin, and attorney Bernadette Cortez. If you like what we're doing here, please take a moment to support us to our shows to all podcast platforms, as well in Facebook and YouTube. I'm Miko Santos, your host, and this is State of Mind.
A Kangaroofern production.